Here's Johnny.
Welcome to my world, bitch.
Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end. Heidi-ho.
And when you're down here with me, you float down.
Like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
What's up, horror fans? Welcome to episode 4. Welcome to a new episode of Friday the 14th podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Juan. I'm joined by the other hosts.
What up, Franco?
Bonjour, the 4K bad guy.
The
Oh,
Betty guy.
How many languages you know, Nick? That's pretty impressive.
Jumbo.
He knows 4K of them.
4K of them. It's a pretty fun.
Ultra.
Pretty ultra. There you go. Welcome to a new episode, guys. I'm excited. This is a new week, new episode, season 7, episode 4. We're already a month into it. Insidious, the Red Door. This should be a fun conversation. Last week, if you guys did not join us, me and Nick talked P2. I still have to send Nick the invoice for making you watch that movie.
I enjoy watching. Yeah.
That was a fun episode, fun little conversation. Go back to wherever you listen to podcasts at. You can also watch it live on demand on this channel, Mr. Swap Productions YouTube channel. So any of the episodes really from Friday the 14th podcast or any of the podcasts that are on this channel, you can go back and listen to or watch. Just subscribe and check us out. Instagram / Friday the 14th podcast, the social media, also at Swap Productions on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and the Instagram. So, Nick, where can we find you at?
Texas. Also the 4K bad guy.
Franco?
Everywhere. Matt Ross and Tacos, though, mainly.
Everywhere.
And tacos.
So, speaking of Oklahoma and Texas, they are in the College Women's World Series right now, playing each other. So, little OU Texas action going on right now. So, that should be fun. Anybody have anything they want to get off their chest as far as like something we've talked about or watched lately? Nick, have you watched anything like P2 again? You're not.
I went back for a rewatch.
You're not living that down this season.
There was like, I was gonna say there's 2 reasons, but I think there might have been 3 reasons to go rewatch that.
I didn't watch it.
You don't need to.
No, actually, yesterday I got around to seeing that. I go blank on the actual title of the movie. And Father Nature,
Father Nature,
Mother Nature. Yeah, the Friday 13th rip off movie.
Oh yeah.
Shudder exclusive.
You sound like it was I'm having a stroke. You sound like it was kind of terrible. Was it terrible?
No, not necessarily. It was just kind of a slow burn, long.
Oof.
The kills were lovely, tasteful. I think I'm too desensitized to what's the limits like for like if you take a normal person to go see it. I don't know what the limit is.
Insane.
Nice.
That's on Shudder.
No, it's it's released in theater. It's kind of like how Late Night with the Devil. That movie was the theater, and then it's gonna be on streaming. But it was produced by Shudder. Or
cool. What about anything else, or?
There's movies I flip through. Like I start them and then I don't even finish them. But I was watching something on Tubi. It was like it was more like a fan made or something that could have been on YouTube. Honestly, it was like more like scary stories, not still in the dark, but like YouTube style. Like there was one about Momo. I forget what it's called though. Then there was another way I was trying to get into with what's his name, Jeremy Allen White.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty much he has cancer. I don't know. That's a spoiler. If you watch it, you find out that's what he has.
you just spoiled it. No.
I did. I'm sorry. But it has. It's. I think it stars him and the girl from It Follows.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he's been everywhere lately. So, well, what about you, Franco? You getting into anything lately?
I watched Spider-Man: Far From Home. I think the second Tom Holland one
Hmm.
in theaters. That was pretty cool. I also watched one of Nick's favorite movies. I rewatched it for like the 10th time. Whiplash.
Oh yeah, Whiplash is good.
I recommend that. It was pretty good. Tiff was watching it with me. She thought it was a musical. I was like, I mean, I guess, but he doesn't sing in it. And she's like, oh, well then I'm
That's
not
La La
watching
Land.
it. Yeah. So I recommend
Nice.
Whiplash. Miles
Whiplash is
Teller.
Whiplash is good. Um,
Quite
talk
my
about horror,
tempo.
talk about horror movies. I checked out The Others with Nicole Kidman. It was a first time watch. Um,
Did
kind of
you watch it with the Criterion 4K transfer? Or...
I did. I did. I've never seen it before, so the transfer looked pretty good. I didn't know where it was going as far as like the ending goes, but it was like kind of a shock. But kind of about halfway, it kind of starts leading into, I'm not gonna spoil it, whether you know or don't know.
Spoil
So
it.
no,
Spoil it.
it was good. I recommend it. I don't know if it's streaming on anything, but The Others was a really good psychological horror movie. Godzilla minus one, perfect. It's on Netflix right now. I highly recommend that. Go check it out. Um, 51st Dates, always funny. And then I checked out Insidious for today's episode. So I believe Insidious is also streaming on Netflix. If you have not seen that before we get into today's conversation, go check it out. You can check out all my recent watches on my Instagram as well. The Cinema Movie Podcast, all one word. Let's dig into what we're talking about, though. This is what is this, the fifth movie of the Insidious franchise.
Part
The
5?
last one being the Last Key in 2018. Um, Insidious: The Red Door. The Lamberts must go deeper into the future more than ever before they put all their demons to rest once and for all. This is starring Ty Simpkins, Patrick Wilson, Rose Byrne, Sinclair Daniel, directed by Patrick Wilson. Um, and then it's based on all the characters produced by uh, Lee Winhell. This is also the guy who created some of the characters for Saw. So
He's a goat.
yeah, like I said, this follows Insidious 2, Chapter 3, other than The Last Key. IMDb gives this movie a 5.5 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes at 38%. The Metascore is at 45%. The Letterboxd has it at 2.4 out of 5, with a release date of July 5th of last year, 2023. With a budget of $16 million and the box office, it grossed a little over $190 million at the box office last year. Um, I guess I'll go first, man. Watched this movie in theaters last year, and I guess in a theater setting, it was fun, and I liked where they were going with it. Um, but the rewatch was not as charming as a Patrick Wilson as I would like it to be. So um, that's my little short brief on it. What about you, Nick? Do you remember the first time you seen it, and what was it like revisiting it for the podcast?
It was wonderful. No, so just yeah, I did go see it in the theaters. July 5th. That day is 2 days away from my birthday, so it was a birthday week, and also shares a birthday with me. Patrick Wilson does, so I was like, I'm gonna go watch the movie and celebrate with him. But that was a good watch the first time around. I guess I do share that similar feelings the second time around watching it. It had been quite a bit since I had gotten to rewatch it now for this viewing.
Franco, what about you? Did you see it in theaters, or what was it like revisiting it? If this wasn't your first time watch,
This is my second time watching it. The first time was in theaters. Um, it was the weekend it came out. I want to say or the week after. Um, I don't really remember it because it was during the week after Soraya and got put in the hospital. Um, so I remember the viewing. I just went to go get out of the hospital. This time watching it though, I remember little parts of it, but yeah, I wasn't a good rewatch.
let's dig into it. Before you guys continue. We're at 12 minutes almost into the episode. The movie is on Netflix, or
Or it's at my house.
you can go to Nick's house. His address is 20. No, I'm just messing with you. Um, check it out. It's available now to purchase physical media wise, streaming, or on the Netflix. Um, where do you guys think that a lot of this went wrong as far as like the Red Door goes? Because The Last Key came out, and whether you're a fan of Insidious or not, I'm a huge fan of the original one. Like, so groundbreaking, so different. And then it's like every other franchise, man. Make they make bank off the first one. It was a decent watch, and then they put out some sequels that are kind of trash. Um, I know we're not going to compare and contrast, but compared to The Last Key, this one was above and beyond a really good movie. But if it's a standalone movie like they want you to think it is, because it starts off with pretty much erasing 2, 3, and The Last Key. They want this one to kind of be like a direct sequel to the first one. What do you guys think of that assessment? The opening kind of just lets you erase all the other ones to where they don't even matter.
I'll be quite honest, I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, neither did I. I was kind of like when you said that Insidious is the movie we were reviewing this week instead. I was like, damn, I wish you had told me like earlier so I could like do a binge watch. I didn't have time to do all of them, but I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, I mean, technically, in the beginning when he's making him doing the trans, that's kind of like, you know, the only thing you're gonna remember is him getting sick and him getting better. So all the events leading after that one, it's like, don't even worry about it. Didn't happen. And I think The Last Key was kind of a prequel anyway, right? So, or was it three?
It's one of
One
those
of the
movies.
one
I
of
just
those
know they
two.
don't properly pick up. I think it's part two because I think it's in part two that a young Jen Ortega comes out. They're supposed to pick up from that storyline, but I guess they got scrapped off somewhere.
Yeah.
They don't really continue with that story.
Yeah, no. So this one kind of did a good job of just like forgetting all the other stuff, and I mean, really, you can thank like Halloween 2018 for kind of introducing that requel, kind of forgetting the entire storylines to any other movies. Blumhouse is kind of doing like a really good job of that lately, and that's what this movie is. Again, more Blumhouse stuff. Just getting into the conversation, are you guys kind of done with Insidious after this movie, or do you kind of want to see maybe what they might do next? Because the ending kind of leaves for a good ending, but it also kind of teases, hey, we can pick something up if we want to.
Um, I'm with every franchise. I've already seen this far. I'm gonna watch it, so I don't care. Please stop though. Like after like part 10,
Part 10.
except Fast and Furious. Keep going.
Especially with the mother's death at the beginning, it's kind of like, what else can we do? as long as they don't try to tie in any other franchises to this, I'm like,
Controversy come back.
yeah,
Um,
let's leave things alone.
Now we're going off that the trend. How you say it dips in quality. James Wan does seem to abandon his projects on to the next thing. I mean, he might have,
He does one and then leaves.
he may stick around like peak his vision, but he doesn't really do anything for the film.
Yeah.
But as far as continuing the whole thing, because isn't there supposed to be there's talks of being a sixth film? That's at least rumored.
I think it was this one's done with the Lamberts. I think if they're gonna do it, they're gonna continue with diving more into that universe with someone else.
You are right, Nick. There is a sixth film in pre-production. Is expected August of next year. It's called Thread: An Insidious Tale. Um, and right now, the top billed cast that's in the mix for the cast next year is Camille Nanjiani and Mandy Moore.
You can find me on threads at Wrestling Tacos.
Directed by Jeremy Slater. So, but yeah, this movie though it has like good ingredients, but it just
Ingredients.
wasn't. Yeah, it has good ingredients, but it just wasn't like cooked all the way. If that makes sense.
You know what it was, honestly? It's because the movie focused on the son instead of just Patrick Wilson. Maybe it was me wanting Patrick Wilson the whole time, selfishly.
Well, you did get quite a bit of Patrick Wilson,
Just not
but he
enough Patrick Wilson as I wanted though. Also, I think it's just in the first two films you don't follow the son as much, so it's just like, all right, now we gotta. I mean, I guess in a way it's cool to follow his story from his view, but it's still kind of. I think I rather would have had it been like a Doctor. What's the movie called? Doctor Sleep,
Doctor
the
Strange.
sequel to Shining.
And see, that's what this movie does pretty well. If you're like a huge horror fan, it follows and it gives some like nods to stuff like Doctor Sleep, The Shining. You even kind of feel some sense of Amityville horror sometimes because of the story of uh, Josh Lambert maybe going crazy and being possessed and wanting to hack up his family. So like it pays all these tropes to these different movies, and that's why I say like it has good ingredients, but it lacks something, and you can really feel it throughout the film. Like it's got some good jump scares, but that's that's pretty much it for me though. Jump scares. Do you guys like the well? Nick, you said you kind of did, but Franco, did you like the way it kind of followed Dalton?
No, it was too much Dalton, not enough Patrick Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in Patrick Wilson. I agree. I would have also liked to known a little bit more of the character that probably should have been maybe the main star. And that was Nick the Dick.
Oh shit. Nick the Dick.
So the college frat party, I kind of feel like these movies also don't have enough maybe like seriousness involved. It's like a haunting tale of seeing is believing. Oh, here comes the ghost. Let me shake my eyes, and then it's gone. But I feel like these movies don't have enough fatalities in order for you to take it all that seriously. What do you guys think? Do you guys kind of feel the same way, or
There wasn't any deaths, was there?
Is there any deaths in any of them? Besides,
At least.
yeah, besides that, like,
Well, there could have been had Patrick Wilson's success in part 2, but hmm, yeah,
I feel like most paranormal don't really have deaths.
paranormal movies,
Yeah,
PG-13 films, at least.
yeah.
I want to see some of these
Um,
ghosts kill somebody, or
man,
maybe like these people are like so bugged out by like some of these ghosts that they end up just maybe taking their own life, like they can't fucking handle it anymore. I'm sorry, I just want some of these movies to be like a little bit darker.
Just on
Darker.
blood.
Yeah,
gore.
no, it
You want-
doesn't, not necessarily gore, but I mean, it's just like I don't know. Maybe I'm asking too much for these movies.
So the only death, well, it was more off-screen death, was the grandma.
Yeah,
And was it mentioned what was the cause of it?
I didn't see the cause. I
It
think it
was
maybe had something to do with
natural.
did it have something to do with Alzheimer's? Because he kept wanting to get his. I know he was feeling foggy throughout the whole movie, but maybe that ran in the family, like Alzheimer's and dementia, and maybe that's why he wanted to keep getting checked. So, but because he's getting haunted by a in particular soul, which is I'm trying to find out the name of the demon. Is it? It's the guy where he's playing the match game, right? And that's the ghost that's haunting Josh or Patrick Wilson. But everything just leads to this red door that Dalton is obviously the key to. So
The last key.
the last key.
I'm back.
There you go.
The red door. I think about all these other ghosts or demons. I don't know. I mean, because of course the main one you want to focus or have interest in is the Darth Maul looking one. That's the main one.
What's his official name? Is it Lipstick Demon?
I think so. Some silly name like that.
Yeah.
You just know what once you hear the music tiptoe through tulips, you know that guy's gonna show up. They should like. There's always like little teases of little tiny. I wouldn't even call them fights really, because most of the time he's like dominating. But there should be like a straight up fist fight with them. Like they should just choke the demon.
The last duel. They just start whipping out lightsabers.
That's cool. And that demon should choke like it's Popeye's biscuits. Straight up.
They didn't give a reason for her death.
Nah. Like, I mean, the actress didn't pass away, did she? I know movies they usually do that route. Or like, oh, she didn't want to be part of this film, so we're just gonna kill her off.
She was
many
filming.
theories.
She was filming another movie during the time, so that could have been the reason why. But she hasn't said why she wasn't in it.
Could have just been like, oh, grandma moved to another, or just visiting other family members. Now we're gonna kill you off. Okay.
Grandma died.
I also like the opening sequence was like 9 minutes.
The funeral?
Yeah. I was like, whenever it was they were leaving, I was like, oh shit, we're opening sequence still. What the fuck?
And then you get to meet like Carl, which it like he's like, oh, I know your mother, but wasn't he technically like the one who was doing the he was making them forget at the beginning? Wasn't that him? At the very, very beginning, he was trying to make Josh and Dalton forget what they had just gone through.
I think so.
And Josh is like, "Do I know you? I just knew your mother. Like, you were plowing my mother, weren't you?"
Oh no. This is the wrong time, my guy.
That's Insidious, the other door.
The the blue door, the pink door.
What'd you guys think of Dalton's little college friend Chris Winslow? Like, you know,
Winslow.
yeah, like there's a little kind of not like a little love interest there, but I guess it's somebody that they kind of grow throughout the film. Um,
I preferred her character over Dalton.
Me too.
Mm.
She was much more like energetic. She was
Hmm.
kind of seemed physically in the movie like a better fit for just like a scary movie. Dalton kind of had Chris Benoit vibes. Not gonna lie.
Well, okay. What do you make that kind of shit?
Like I feel like
He's a rabbit Wolverine.
yeah, like I felt like he could have just been the one to like end this entire franchise by like, you know what, he's the one that's like possessed. He snaps. I almost thought when I first watched this in theaters, I was like maybe he kills his dad, and like he ends up being
Mm.
like the one in the real world that's like ultimately possessed. Maybe he was the one that was like, obviously he was possessed in the first film, but like I was kind of thinking throughout the first time watch that maybe he's always still been possessed and it's never really left him. And then he just finally, maybe he was the reason for the divorce. Maybe he was the main reason that the dad was always just like, foggy.
Laying
So
all your blame on a kid, man.
yeah,
Yeah, but it was him.
I'm blaming Dalton on everything.
He's 20 now, so he can take that. He can take the responsibility. Um, that was probably the thing I kind of disliked. Like, come on, you're gonna divorce Patrick Wilson in this film. I know some tough shit happened, but could have followed through. I mean, it's Patrick Wilson. Just gonna leave him like that.
That's
And
like
it,
the ending with what's her name? Is it Elise? Saying, "Do you live here?" I hope to.
like the divorce didn't make any sense. Like I don't know. I guess it makes sense in the reality of they wanted him to be super stressed and foggy, and but like they didn't really have that much of an on-screen connection in any of the movies anyway.
Mm. Yeah, I think it's just the moment whenever he's being a dick to his dad, Patrick Wilson, arriving to college, and then he's already trying to get like one of those flyers showing with what was it, bait or whatever those houses.
This movie feels like if it's Rey Mysterio and Dominic trying to put the relationship back
So
together.
you're a deadbeat dad. I gave you everything, you ungrateful bastard. I felt that whole scene. I was like, damn, I wanted to cry when he went to the car.
Yeah, poor Patrick Wilson. What'd you guys think of some of the standout like jump scares? Like there's the scene where Patrick Wilson is getting the MRI and the demon is like above the you see the demon above the head and then below the feet. What about that scene? Impressed or thumbs down?
I like I mean, just the scenery or whatever. I think I may have spoiled in the preview. It's like one of those scenes where you see in the previews. I was like, but I probably would have enjoyed it had I not seen that.
Yeah.
I was
Pretty
thinking in
cool.
my head like throughout the whole as the movie went on, because I do like when it's like little subtle background, but I think there's a few more scenes than it needed to be when they went that direction.
I feel that. The movie's like almost an hour and 50. I feel like this probably could have been trimmed down another 20 minutes. I think it would have been a good, solid hour and a half. I think it probably would have flowed a little bit better. Because by the time you get to the final scene and Dalton's going through and the red door, it's kind of like, I don't really care anymore. Like, this movie kind of went 20 minutes too long. What about you, Franco? Were you a fan of most of the jump scares throughout the movie?
The one you're talking about,
The MRI?
the cat, yeah. I was watching my daughter, and she turned it off after that. So I turned my TV back on.
Oof.
But yeah, I didn't care for them really.
Yeah. Just like the scene where he's playing the match game and the guy gets closer and closer to the window. You're like, I feel like I've seen this before.
Also, like when they're leaving the gravesite and Patrick is in his car, and then you get all text messages, a little slowly walking in the background of the car.
Oh yeah, I like one of the cool scenes where is it Dalton goes back into the house and he's under the bed, and then he leaves the bed and the demon's like on the bed and the demon just like throws up all over him or whatever. Like that was a
Let's
pretty
go.
yeah, like that was a pretty intense scene in the theaters. But then watching it again, it's like, why were you even up there anyway? Like, I don't know. I wish some of these movies were just like. No, I don't want to feel like I'm trashing all over it, even though that's kind of what it sounds like. But so I guess some of the positives, some of these demons or some of these scenes could have been complete CGI, and I guess a lot of the positives about this movie is it was not CGI, and they used a lot of like prosthetics and makeup. So I guess there's a big thumbs up for this. Um, yeah. Where should this franchise go next? After reading the play on the next movie, which comes out next year, I'm kind of like that does not make me want to watch it even more. Like it looks like this one's a prequel, an Insidious tale.
A prequel. Like, where do you even go to the story? I mean, I'd probably make a movie around the two dudes that were helping out Elise,
Specs and forgot the other guy.
which happens to be one played by Lee now.
Yeah, I'll make it about them or about Elise or about all three of them.
And she was
The Red Door.
she was the one who was like in most of them, right? She was in the first one. She was in 3, and then did she technically die in the last key? I can't remember. She's a ghost technically in this one, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the Red Door, yeah.
Yeah.
She's long gone.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's insane about how, and I was really excited for the Red Door. I was like, man, finally, Patrick Wilson returns.
That was I mean, I'm excited at the thought of Patrick Wilson actually directing the film and everything. Him making his return, of course. Then absent from the other movies. I think if I were to do Insidious movie, which probably wouldn't work at all, I would take it into a direction where I focus nothing but the further, just that whole world. I'll explore more into that world. And here's where I'm gonna lose you. I would make a found footage type.
Ugh.
Oh shit! Already, that's shit. No, I think that you could probably capitalize or take advantage of that. Just a ghostly world.
Go back to how about like maybe like an origin story. Like, what's up with the Tiny Tim songs? Why do we have to have like a song from the 40s or the 50s?
Bless you.
Thank you. And why does it like completely enhance this demon? Like,
Just works.
yeah, like I mean, this demon or this guy is obviously from like the 40s, right, or the 50s, maybe even the 30s. Like, that's the time of that we don't want to go back to.
Mm.
Like, this guy died probably a horrible death. He was probably a racist. You know what? He was
Straight
probably
up.
yeah, he was probably working like a 9 to 5 job, get super drunk, beat on his wife and kids,
Mm.
wouldn't let certain, like I said, really racist. So
Just emphasis on
What are we
that part.
talking about here?
The demon.
an origin story of why the demon is the way he is. See, our bring ups and our topics of prequels or sequels or Eloise, like these are all better conversations than what this actual movie was.
I don't know what I do. Think of the racist stuff. What's his
Or
previous life? It was like
let's just get
Casper.
yeah, right.
Can I keep you? Um,
Let's get a movie about Mrs. Lambert. I don't think
Miranda
Rose.
Lambert. No,
Yeah, I don't think Rose.
Osborne.
Yeah,
Or
Rose Byrne. She doesn't have anything going on. She can come back for her and Patrick Wilson prequel.
and she didn't get that much screen time in this movie. That's why they put Anne Roseburn in the credits at the beginning.
Can we get Patrick Wilson as a kid, but have Patrick Wilson play his kid character?
So bringing
Like an episode of like George Lopez where you got a little kid body but a Patrick Wilson on the head.
they're using de aging AI
Or
or
Finn Saw when they just put the sweater on, the backwards hat.
the backwards hat.
Yeah.
Just put a little makeup on him. I mean, he looks pretty good for his age. What's that supposed to mean? I'm bad.
This movie being more of a jump scare, suspense mystery. And that's probably my main fear, like when it comes to a bunch of these movies. Like, man, right out of the theater surrounding it, jump scares, really good movie. You know what? Couldn't have been worse. And then it's like a year later, man, you watch it at home and it's just like, man, it just doesn't hit in the feels anymore. So
Mm.
that's like a lot of the that's a lot of horror movies lately. So I don't know. Nick, you said you kind of felt the same way with the Strangers, right? The one that's in theaters right now. You saw that in a theater surrounding it, and you thought it was kind of just decent, right?
Are you talking about the surroundings or just
Just the movie
the
in general.
hype going to go
No,
see it?
yeah, no, just the movie.
Just the movie.
Yeah, I feel like that's like just horror movies in a nutshell now. Really decent in the theater, but like, man, 6 months later when I watch it at home, it just doesn't hit.
I'm trying to think of what big movie I rewatched. I was like, oh, this is so good. I think the only thing I rewatched since like the theater watches was probably like Laying Out with the Devil. I think me indie horror films is, I guess that's where it's at currently, because these bigger production movies are just get a little burnt out. It's very similar formulas they keep using.
I enjoyed the latest Scream after rewatching it at home.
Yeah, that's true.
But I
I
like
feel
the
that.
franchise too, though. So
I think one movie we got to talk about this year is like it's getting like so much rave and so many positive reviews. I want to check out Long Legs with
Nicolas
Nicolas
Cage.
Cage. Yeah, it's getting some pretty decent reviews, calling it one of the better crime slash psychological horror movies of the year. So
That's being
it's
done by what's that production company called? Neon.
Neon. Yeah, um, comes out in theaters July 12th. So maybe we can talk about that one day. But back to the ever so
Reality.
lovable Insidious, the Red Door. What do you guys think of the ending? We can already put a wraps on the story and you know Dalton's little Dalton and Josh's little Red Door scenario comes to an end. Um, the thing about this movie is the ending came and gone, and it just wasn't memorable for me. Like I just didn't care for it that much. At least the ending.
I love Patrick Wilson, but I was hoping he was gonna die.
Oh,
He was gonna stay at the door, and that was gonna be the end of it. But
Yep.
that would have been a great ending. Honestly, he's like, I'll do it for you, you little shit. You know you don't love me back. This is for you. That's the parts like it's Toy Story 3 that one scene.
Yeah. No, like I agree with Franco. I think you needed some kind of big fatality, and even though Patrick Wilson's like the guy in this franchise, I think he should have been the one to end it. He should have been the one to go. So I think you needed something that memorable for this movie. So
and then have him in it at least watching the household after.
Nice.
yeah. Uh, overall, I think we can agree
Yes.
it's Patrick Wilson, without a shadow of a doubt. Um, before we get to a star rating or a machete rating, favorite scene? Anybody? Besides the end,
When
you can't say the end credits.
Damn it.
when she kicked Nick the Dick in the dick.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That scene was pretty hot though.
Is that what you're into?
No, what?
You wish it was you. You wish it was you were the Nick.
You tripping
Nick,
me?
I think you got I think you got a new name you got to change
That's
to.
not. I'm not into that. Someone is favorite scene. Hmm. Just throw a random scene. Where they go back into the part 2 scene where he's like going back in time or a flashback.
Flashback scene was pretty fun.
It was like a flashback, but not really a flashback. I don't know. You call it
Yeah. Call it the what?
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 The Wilson effect. Just straight up.
Yeah. When the movie was over today, I was so excited to just hit the eject button.
Oh,
Birthday. Man, what'd you do? Let's talk. You do anything fun for your birthday?
I do. I went to eat with Nick, my wife, and another friend,
Nick the
Ryan,
no.
what?
with Aaron Senpai.
That's always like the older you get, that's like the best part of like birthdays now is like where are we going to eat and I don't have to pay for it, right? Or did you have to pay for
No,
it?
I had to
Okay.
fucking pay for it, right,
What?
Nick?
Nick, come
What?
on.
Mr. 4K bad guy.
He asked a
Obviously,
question and
dang,
I
he
think
put you
someone
on blast.
look. It was already spoken for before I.
Man,
Yeah, if you want to send me money, y'all can cash at me at yeah.
there we go. Now, now,
Your birthday
now,
was yesterday. No man, shit.
now we know the name should be Nick the Dick.
No, don't try to guess me now. It's the
What
name, the bad guy, not the good guy.
there we go. That's funny.
Not the goody guy.
He saves himself. What was the food? Was it good?
No, it was
No shout out.
what's it called again? Wallbangers. Is that where we went? Wallbangers.
Sounds like a burger joint.
Yeah, it was a burger joint, and the burger. I got a bacon cheeseburger, and it tasted like fucking egg, like the entire burger.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
The meat was spoiled. No. Insidious. The final shits.
Oh,
Man. Well, I'm sorry I picked this lame movie, and I was hoping we would end your birthday week on a fun movie, but that didn't help out either.
how dare you?
Man.
You just wanted to tie up with me, didn't you?
It's because I
Yeah.
began watching it yesterday on my birthday, and I was like, you know what? I should not watch this on my birthday. I'll save it for tomorrow.
If I had a decent scene, I would probably want to pick a very good light in this tunnel is you do get to see some of the acting chops from Patrick Wilson and Rose Byrne when they're sitting there talking, having the conversation of what happened in the past, and they both start crying and boo-hooing. I thought that was a real heartfelt scene, especially somebody going through a divorce. Who's that?
Is that me?
And that'd be me. And then the MRI scene was fun, weird, creepy, had some kind of like throwbacks. MRIs always freak me the fuck out. I was in one last year, and right after this movie, and I was like, man, something needs to grab me. Uh, and then that'd be it, man. Honestly, like I said, I did like the throw up scene, but other than that, that was it. So, ratings. How many Danny Trejos does Insidious the Red Door get? Um,
More than Nightmare Cinema.
oof. I don't know what Nightmare Cinema got, but looking back at this, if it's as bad as we kind of talk about it, it is a letdown. But I think there's still some kind of good things in there. I'm not gonna rewatch it. This isn't gonna be my go-to Insidious movie. But if I look at it from just the first one and this one, I give this one a 2 out of 5. Franco,
It was enjoyable in theaters from what I remember. I had been dying to see it. But based off my rewatch, yeah, I'm gonna give it like 2.5. I do think you should see it at least once though.
yeah,
Just don't go back and rewatch it.
yeah, not very good rewatchability. Nick, what about you?
Well, I'll be generous. There's more rating for like Patrick Wilson now, so uh, I'm giving it a three. Danny Trejo's.
3 machetes. So overall, like we said, go watch it. It's on Netflix. If you already have a Netflix account, it's not like you got to spend any money on it anyway. You just got to dedicate an hour and 47 minutes of your time, which to some of us, that's a lot. So now that the red door is over,
Mm.
I can go sell that for 50 cents.
50 cents.
But you know what you can go watch, and that's always a joy. No. What do we got going on this weekend, guys? Anything you guys want to mention? Any plans or shows or anything at all?
I'm free this weekend, Friday, Saturday.
Free.
But Sunday I got Baracho Pro in Austin. Me and Nick gonna go see them declare crown. They go crown the first Baracho Pro world champion, who's gonna be Brick Savage, of course. But
Mm.
yeah, but that's about it.
Baracha Pro. That sounds like a fajita dish. That sounds pretty good.
It's like a whole bunch of friends who are drunk that got into the deathmatch scene, and then they're now into the wrestling promoting scene.
Deathmatch scene. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I haven't seen too many of those, but they're entertaining sometimes.
don't shoot them. You might end up getting like glass in your arm sometimes.
Oof.
Yeah, gotta be careful with them.
Nick, what about you?
What?
What do you got going on? Anything this weekend?
Party.
Okay. Nick whipping out oh, I'll say that.
Hey, make the dick.
Man. Yeah. I think next week, join us for Thanksgiving in June. We're gonna have a full Thanksgiving slate.
Mm.
Turkey, potatoes, cranberries, blood,
Cornbread.
guts, horror movies. So that should be fun. Next week is Franco's pick, and it's June 12th, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Um, I've only seen this movie once, and it was right when I bought it. I was super excited to see it. So this will be my second time watching it for the rewatch. So hopefully, it's pretty fun. So
What was your rating the first time?
I think out of a 10, I think I gave it a 7. That's when I was doing my 10 Ty Dillinger stars ratings. And so it'll be interesting to see how the rewatchability goes. So I really enjoyed it last time. So, but I like a lot of Eli Roth shit. His stuff is
Mm.
like very good and very like just decor almost, if you want to use that word. I don't know how it goes the second time though, so we'll see. Um, Man, there's no stopping for me though. This weekend's gonna be busy. Live screening of 300. If anybody wants to here locally in Oklahoma City, come check it out. 2221 Exchange Avenue, right here in Oklahoma City, Stockyards, Cowtown. We are having a 300th showing for our 300th episode. Um, Come check it
Congrats.
out. Yeah, thank you, man.
Big.
Come check it out. Um, Saturday, June 8th, 7 p.m. Tickets are $10. We went all over this past weekend setting up flyers. If you take a picture of the flyer and tag the place that you're at, we have tons of giveaways you guys can win. So listen to last week's episode for more details. We talked all about 51st dates. So I think come see 300 with us this Saturday, 7 p.m. So busy.
Before we go, what's your thoughts on Jordan Grace and NXT?
I didn't get to watch her match yesterday on NXT. I did see her little NXT TNA vest that she had. I think it's going to be good. I think, uh, I mean, what would really be good if she walked away NXT champion, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think just like in the years past when WWE worked with like ECW or small stuff like that, I think Roxanne Perez is obviously going to go over. The whole shock the world would be for her to lose, right? Um,
That's Vince's booking, though. We're in a new
yeah,
era. Triple
yeah.
H.
And there's got to be some kind of like contractual clause, like, hey, if we put the NXT belt on her, she's got to protect it. She's got to look good over on TNA. She
No.
can't lose it to somebody else.
I
So
love Roxanne. Roxanne's a Texas girl and everything, but like, fuck, dude. If Jordan Grace wins, it's
yeah,
a new fucking era. It's a new beginnings.
yeah, it'd be huge. It then if that happens, you got to look at it like what NXT guy would take a TNA title from somebody. Are they eventually setting up a Trick Williams Moose match, or are they setting up an Ethan Page Moose match? You know,
I think that happened already in TNA.
yeah. So
But
it's interesting to see what can happen now.
Trick Williams versus Moose would be interesting as well, though.
Yep. So a lot of fun stuff that's going to happen. Um, I'm going to be talking a lot more wrestling over on the other episodes of things. So man, it's NXT man is where it's at, like it always has been. I saw some like nasty comments online, and online's always good for that. It's like um, Ethan Page versus Trick Williams his first match. If AEW does that or if TNA does that, they're bad booking. But NXT does it, it's okay. And I'm like, man, it's not about who does it; it's about who does it right. You know, I don't know, but it's
Yeah, I think
definitely going to be interesting.
I'm sure Ethan Page is going to lose that match, though. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
So, what about you guys' thoughts? Roxanne wins or
Um, my obvious thought, yeah, Roxanne wins, but god damn, I hope Jordan Grace fucking wins it. Like, if she wins it, anything can fucking happen now in WWE and TNA. Anything. So,
even if I think they have a TNA show like pay-per-view too, just like weeks away, right?
yeah, I think
I
it's
mean,
next Friday.
yeah. So even if it's a short reign and she wins it and then she loses it at the NXT pay-per-view, still, I'm all for that too.
Yeah.
So, but should be fun, man. I can't wait. That's this Sunday already, right? Battleground.
Is it this Sunday?
Yeah, June 9th.
Oh, damn.
I
I'm
look at
good.
it this way: if Roxanne Perez and Jordan main event that show, I think we have a new champion.
I don't think
And
they're
I,
a main event though, because it's Ethan Page and Trick.
I don't know. They just announced that match, and the women's match has been kind of like everybody's hyped to see it, and it's been like a build for a lot longer. So
That's true.
that's usually how I feel. If that match goes on last, I see a big main event, and I see a big win. And then Jordan Grace like hauls ass like CM Punk did in 2011 with the belt. So should be fun. But if anybody else wants to talk some wrestling next Thursday, I'll be talking the 20th anniversary of the Great American Bash next Thursday at 6:30 right here live on Amos Wall Productions YouTube channel. So, but yeah, if there's anything else you guys want to add, go ahead. If not, we'll see everybody next week for
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Ready to get stuff early.
There we go. Nick, you're gonna
Yeah.
get stuffed.
Stuff, super stuff.
Other than that, everybody else have a good week. We'll see you next week on a new episode of Friday the 14th.
The
Peace
outro.
out. Talk